You're listening to JM Partners Atlanta Market Eavesdrop, a quick real estate update from Jerry Metcalf Partners, real estate agents on the ground in Atlanta, talking about what it's like, what to expect, the pros, the cons, and what to consider to align yourself and your loved ones for the best opportunities.
How's everyone today?
Yes.
Great.
Good morning, everybody. It is 3 things to know on the JM Partners Atlanta Home Market Eavesdrop. And I'm going to check our live video and make sure we're good. We are. So everybody, we're going to talk today about the 3 things to know about supply, what it actually is, what it's doing in Atlanta, and the pros and cons. They're the obvious, but then there are others that aren't always what you think. So, starting with that, do y'all want me to start or does anybody else want to start?
Go for it.
You're good at starting.
All right. So when somebody says, what is supply? We've been talking about supply. Supply in Atlanta has been a month, and it's been 1 month for about 3 months. And this time last year, it was about 3 months. What supply means is if everything that's on the market right now sold and nothing else sold, considering the rate at which homes are selling, how long would it take everything on the market to sell? So right now, if you look at all of Atlanta, everything on the market, if nothing else came on the market, it would only take 1 month for all of these properties to be gone and us to be at 0. That's really fast. In a neutral market, that number or that amount of time or supply is usually 6 months. In a seller's market, that is less than 6 months. So when it was 3 months, which is 60, we're 66% down from that, or 66% faster. At 3 months, it was a buyer's market, and we're at a month now. Just to reiterate what's going on.
Seller's
It is a seller's market. So what it's doing in Atlanta, we just said what it's doing in Atlanta. Now, what's going to happen to it in Atlanta? So to really determine that, we talk about inventory. How many homes are on the market? How many more homes are coming on the market? That's also a big question. We're like, yeah, we know supply's low. So how many more homes are coming on the market in Buckhead? So the number in all of Atlanta is 20% down on what's coming on the market this time this year. And that's over a 2 month. We looked at January and February to make sure this was kind of consistent. And it's 20% this time last year, fewer market homes coming, brand new listings coming on the market in our MLS system. Now that covers a lot of counties. In Buckhead and Brookhaven, the amount of inventory, the number of homes coming on the market is down actually by 10%, or actually 11% in Buckhead and 12% in Brookhaven. So we've got low supply, 10 days on market, by the way, everybody, average overall, and we've got fewer homes coming on the market.
And this is probably the last time for a couple months. I just want to jump in and remind everybody that we can actually do year over year because, of course, 2020 March, we saw
March is when everything started changing. Good point.
So but our data is obviously taking into account January and February. So it's a fun market out there.
This time last year, it was like everything, the market was moving forward. Everything was great. Then it just went kind of April. It was fine. Mid-April, it was down, inventory sales, everything. And then it was right back where it started by the end of April last year.
Right.
So here's the thing, like everybody's okay, like, yeah, so supply's low, it's a buyer's market. And if you're a buyer, you've got to just pay cash and close tomorrow and pay too much money. And if you're a seller,
Wait, Jerry, you keep saying it's a buyer's market. It's you seller's market.
Thank you. I'm just trying to get y'all to talk. That's all.
Okay. So with the
seller's market, yeah.
The sellers, obviously, it's not always what you think, if we're going to jump to that, right? Because at the same time, yes, it is a seller's market, but buyers are smart and they don't want to overpay, but also sellers have to remember that even if they're dealing with a cash buyer, you don't want to accept a deal, you accept a contract from a buyer who is then going to, for whatever reason, in the deal, right? Because our job as realtors is for that long haul, however many days it is to hold that deal together. And at the end of the day, like we have to do, that's where our value comes in, right? As realtors. it's not just getting you a contract or getting you a buyer. It's 100% every day of that transaction and what it takes to, and Jerry, you can talk to that of a recent
We've
story.
got a recent story to share. Is the seller, what were you gonna say, Adam?
Well, I was gonna say to Bridget's point is it's not always price, and this may segue into what you were gonna say, but it's not always price that makes that offer the best one in a multiple offer situation. There's so many other factors that go in terms and quality of the buyer, how likely they are to continue through to get to the closing table, how likely are they to bail out within the due diligence period. And to Bridget's point, where this is where our job really comes in to vetting out those other people, those buyers, to make sure that the deal closes and you're not going back on the market after they back out.
And make sure we've got the best terms, best buyer, to repeat really what you just said, Adam.
Mhm.
So let's share a story. Bridget and I have this, we're working on this deal together. And we had a buyer and it was a multiple, I mean, we're talking over 10 offer situation. And our buyer was in a fortunate situation where we could present a really strong offer that was cash to close in 2 weeks, gave the seller the right to stay. We were the second highest offer. And the other offer that came in saw the house last minute. They made an offer. They needed to get a loan. They needed to get an appraisal, and they made an offer about $20,000 over our second highest offer on this property. The seller saw that, it looked great. They went under contract, and fast forward, that seller, our client, we found another house for our client that they liked better. We got better terms because we've, as agents combined, maybe I think we have 40 years in the business or more. We have, in all of our resources, we found them multiple other options when that happened. They're under contract now. They've got a house. They love it. The seller, on the other hand, that buyer had come in and leveraged the contract to win the deal. The seller thought they were getting $100,000 more than they had even originally planned. The seller now is not, and they are now looking for a buyer. And our buyer is now gone, who would have already closed several weeks ago. They would still be in the house, taking their time moving out, and they would have more on the property than they ever would have had. But again, it's all about understanding the parameters of every deal as a seller and as a buyer. That leads us to buyers. On buyers right now, it's like, oh my gosh, like nothing's for sale. Everything falls off the market. I'm never going to get a house unless I just like magically come up with cash or compromise everything. And I'm not even going to like it. I mean, that's kind of the vibe and what people assume as buyers. That's something else we can speak to. And really, there can be a lot of benefits in a market like this when you've got the right resources and you know the parameters of what you're doing to find the property, put the deal together, and get what you want to be, where you want to be, and know that you're paying a price that's not out of reason, that you're not going to be going buyer's remorse for the next decade.
That's it. Exactly. The buyer's remorse. Sellers have to remember that if you're forcing, or if you get an offer that is so much higher than the other 10 offers that you received,
It might close.
You might get lucky.
You got the broker that's going to close it. It might well close.
It might well close. You might get
Different.
lucky, but sometimes you have to take a step back.
So let's get into buyers. So right now, buyers feel like, what the heck? There's no supply. There's 1 month. The average listed sale price is 100%. If you look at inventory, because we thought like, wow, inventory's got to be going up. We looked at the numbers. In Atlanta, it's down 20%. In Brookhaven and Buckhead, it's down over 10%. 10% fewer homes are coming on the market, despite the fact that sales prices are up by almost 25% year over year. So speaking to that, buyers like, how could that be good? So we shared a little clue of how that could be good. And Adam, you actually have a story that and I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, but
okay.
you had a story recently, a few times. We've had some great success with all of us, but Adam was speaking to it before we started recording about how we're really not when you think you've got a problem in a bad situation, there are opportunities in that when you know how to pull them out and find them.
There are definitely opportunities, and that's where, I mean, our team, we have some systems in place where we can find the house, even if it's not there. It's not necessarily right in front of us coming on the market listed. We have ways of getting to these houses and finding them and getting our buyers into them and seeing them before most anybody else does. And we've had some success stories doing that recently. So I just think it's,
Yeah, well, I think we're set up nicely for success because we've been doing that and we've kind of refined,
it's nothing new for us.
right, and we've spoken, we've all done this.
Oh, you mean winning? Yeah, no, not new for us.
No big deal.
Yeah, nothing new for
I could do a hashtag on that, but I'll refrain. But we've even done some incredible land deals and lot deals using these processes, and now we're applying them more and more to people's homes for the exact same for what's going on in the market today. And it's actually proving advantageous because the market's moving quickly, but we can read it quickly. We know what's going on. We know what our competition is. We know we can assess the market much more quickly. And when clients or buyers know what they want, it exists. It exists. It's about honing into what you want. And now we go and make it happen for you. That doesn't mean you're going to buy something not on the market, but that means we're going to really get all the opportunities out in front of you.
Well, and a lot of thing too, an important thing, Jerry, is being so in tune and being able to understand the market. And for us, we look at new listings every single day, and being able to immediately identify a good value, sending it to our clients immediately and saying, hey, let's go look at this today because this is a great deal. It's not going to last long. And lo and behold, I mean, we're like to say we're typically right about that. But yeah, no, so it's being able to read the market and know when to execute. And there's plenty of opportunities for buyers out there, contrary to popular belief.
Exactly. Compromise is never.
Never.
Let's collaborate. Let's make it happen. If you know what you want and you define it, just like in success and buying a house, know what you want, make the plan. And it's amazing how even better things come out of it than you originally thought would. So should we do a fun little, I miss Kevin Dwyer, who came on and asked us about our favorite, I'm not even looking at it,
About your favorite romantic movie.
our favorite sappy romantic movie. I had so much fun. We're gonna have to bring Kevin back on so he can ask again, because apparently it only works when he's here.
Yeah, because last time Jerry tried to ask us about a Hollywood couple, and it would talk about an awkward radio silence.
And I don't even know Hollywood couples, so that was a lame question. We can't ask about your favorite politician, because Lord knows we'll get ourselves in trouble with that.
Did you say your favorite politician?
So,
Abe Lincoln.
that's like asking like your favorite Halloween, like your favorite, what is it? Your favorite Halloween character or your favorite Disney characters. What did you say,
You
Chad?
could ask questions
Abe
like,
Lincoln.
what's your favorite business book or something? And then that way, at least it's giving
Right.
someone
What
to
is-
actually
okay.
look inside.
And being the geek, I
What
got my.
are we reading right now? Or like
No, we're
like
doing
what's
it
in your
now.
proofs or
We're
whatever.
doing it now. Big Chad. What's
Oh
your
gosh.
favorite business?
I'm
Big
in for
Chad.
super.
And what's your favorite business book? Bridget,
How to think like a billionaire.
who wrote it?
Donald Trump.
Well, there we go with politicians. We got it all covered.
He's an
Perfect.
author. Yep.
How to think.
I am reading How to Win Friends and Influence People because I read that one over and over again. And then I am reading Rediscover Jesus by Matthew Kelly. And
Oh,
I actually am listening again to Never Split the Difference for like the 6th time. So
oh
following
no,
through
better
with
get on it. You're catching up.
Adam, anything you're reading?
Well, Never Split the Difference is always a team favorite, but I just finished up Fortitude by Crenshaw, and that's a
good one.
it's a really good one. I highly recommend it.
I like how we're covering the politicians. Jesus. and
they have
Brenda
to-
Hall.
Jesus.
And Jerry is in the middle of her 50 Shades of Grey.
I actually read that book. It was pretty good. It was everybody said it was poorly written. I thought it was fine.
I thought it was fine.
Don't judge though. Never Split the Difference and Fortitude are still really good books. They're really good books. And then you know what a great book is that I can't get through for some reason, but every time I read it, I'm like, I have to like rewind and replay is Pitch Anything.
Oh yeah, so I read that one recently. That one's really good.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a good one.
Here we
Have
go.
y'all read it yet?
Mm-mm.
That's a good one. All right. So we're giving away our secrets, too many of them. It's great. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to, we have been JM Partner Atlanta. What Bridget?
It's okay. Adam's
Put that on
frozen.
me.
He's got a
She's-
smile.
She's like, I have places to be. Seriously. JM Partner Atlanta Home Market Eavesdrop. However, we are now changing our name to 3 Things to Know. 3 Things to Know on the JM Partner Atlanta Home Market Eavesdrop. We are a podcast right now. Search us by JM Partner or Eavesdrop or eavesdrop.jmpartners.io. But anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find our interviews with top agents around the country, and you can find our interviews on, Adam disappeared, and you can find our interviews on what's going on in Atlanta market in real time, week by week. Bye, y'all.
Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, wherever you
Yes,
listen to podcasts.
Yes, everywhere. Bridget Posey, Adam Vickers just disappeared on us. He has somewhere to be. Late, Adam, early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable.
Froze.
He's
I
outta
think
here.
there were some technical difficulties.
Oh, no. No, we'll just make him look good for it. And Chad Carretas and Jerry Metcalf, JM Partners. Thank y'all for listening. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the JM Partners Atlanta Market Eavesdrop. If you like what you heard, please subscribe and share with your friends who might be moving or who just want to keep up with the latest in the Atlanta residential market. You can find us anytime online at jmpartners.io.